Hi guys, Andy Golf from Mad Dad. Welcome to a new series called Short Game Scratch Tips. This series, filmed at Shirland Golf and Country Club, I will explain the different short game skills that I have learned and used to try and be a scratch golfer, even though practice time is very limited, as I do run my own PR company with my wife, and also like to spend as much time as possible with my little boy, who is growing up way too fast. But once you master these techniques, they become your default settings. These tips work for me, so hopefully they can work for you also. Right guys, episode 3, tour game, short game secrets, part 1. I'm going to show you how I play uphill lies, downhill lies, and play from the rough. As we assess the rough, play different shots from there. So let's give this a go. Right guys, uphill chips, we can make them really simple. Biggest fault we see with higher handicappers, don't set the shoulders with the slope. We tend to set up to the ball as we would normally, and as we come in, we get in steep, the club digs, can't hit consistent strike, can't control the distance, gonna come out hot, no spin, can't control it. So let's keep it simple. So how do we play uphill slopes, or how I play them, is pretty easy. We set the shoulders to go with the slope. So normal setup, so the slope is here as you can see on the camera, so we go on here. My weight is going to be set more on the right hand side with the shoulders set to the slope. My whip stance, as the slope gets more severe, my stance gets a little bit wider, just to have a more stable base. And with the ball, I like to move the ball position a little bit forward, so shallow the angle of attack, feels like the bounce of the club slides under that ball and we get none of it digging. So I use my belt buckle release for this one, if the lie permits. You got a little bit of grass again, this is quite a lot of grass, a really nice lie here. You only need a little bit of grass, so belt buckle release, ball position forward, set the shoulders with the slope. And then the last thing, as you'll see with this shot, comes out, it'll work, but it's way too high, so I actually use my 58 degree on there. So what we need to do on here, because of the slope, it's going to add loft also, so it's going to come out too high. 9 times out of 10, most people will come up short. So grab yourself a bit more loft, got my 50 degree here, and allow for the slope, and it'll come out much better trajectory, control it more. So I've got my 50 degree, ball towards the left foot, weight on the right heel, belt buckle release, coming nice and shallow, pop, comes out nice, much more control. We're not getting the high, we're not getting the diggers, just comes out nice and soft. Pivot around that left heel, might go in. Right guys, uphill lies, they're easy. Right guys, we've done the uphill, now it's the downhill lies. Again, they don't have to be as difficult as they look, even when you've got a green what slopes down and you don't want to hit like a little chippy 7 which is just going to run off the green. So as we did with the uphill, we set with the slope, exact same with the downhill lies. So again, same here, shoulders, we set the shoulders with the slope. The main aim of the downhill one is we've just got to make good contact. So on this one, I go to my loftiest club, and for this, again, the severity of the slope will change the width, so I get a good solid base. So this one's quite steep, so quite a bit of width. We set the shoulders to the slope, and on this one we want the sternum ahead of the ball, want the descending blow, and I want to feel like I'm really nipping this ball. So it's more of a short, snappy, snippy swing this one, because I really want to just clip it. So let's try and set up here. So shoulders with the slope, sternum ahead of the ball. Can't use my belt buckle release with this one, so this one's the left hip release. As we come down, really nip it. So shoulders, sternum ahead of ball. Can we nip it? Look at the spin. Still grabbed on there. Easy as that, guys. Little nipper. So again, checkpoints, shoulders with the slope, ball position back so we can nip it first, get that descending blow, get the wider stance, severity of the slope, left hip release, and nip it. Oh, again, nipped. And if we want to go super severe, shall we give it a go? This one tests the old football cruciate knee. So again, balls, back of the stance, shoulders with the slope, sternum ahead. Can we nip this one? Wish me luck. Wish that cruciate knee good luck. Oh, we've nipped it with spin. Oh, check. Right guys, hopefully all the downhill slopes aren't as big as that one, but downhill slopes, they're easy. Right guys, playing from the rough from around the green. To be honest, this, with driving, is where you want to be spending most of your time, as most high handicappers only average about 3 greens in reg. So if we can get better from around here, those shots will start to tumble. So the main thing with playing from the rough, we got to learn to assess the lie. So I've got 3 lies here. One is deep, quite buried underneath. The second one is what we tend to find, sat down a little bit of grass behind the ball, but that's your standard normal rough lie. And the third one is actually sat up almost like on a T-peg. Looks simple chip, but we do have to be careful on that one. So first shot, when it's buried deep enough, we can still get this to easily pop up, control it so it comes out with a little bit more spin instead of just hacking it down. So setup for this is we got to come with a steeper angle of attack. We're going to aim, we're still going to try and hit 1-2 inches behind the ball, but we're going to try and cut through that grass so the grass doesn't tangle too much with the club head. So wider stance for the deeper rough, stable base. Going to play it more like a bunker shot. Stack the weight on the left, sternum ahead of the ball, which will allow us to set the club early as we come in a little steeper, and it should still pop out of there. So stack the weight on the left, nice and steep, let it pop. Still pops up, still soft, nice and spinny. So that's the deep rough. Right, the standard lie, similar to the deep rough, but we don't need to come as steep. Still want to come a little bit steep so we cut through this grass. It doesn't tangle the club head. Again, same. So I'm not going to go as wide on this because I don't need to be as steep. So a little narrower stance. Again, with the first chip, if you want, just feel a bit tighter in your left hand. That'll also stop the club from twisting. So a little bit tighter grip on the left. Again, not as wide. Still steep, 1-2 inches behind the ball, and it should just pop up. Pops up really nice. So soft, soft spinning. Easy as that, guys. Right. Third one, sat on top. We think that's quite an easy shot. If we set up like we do, like we've just played those ones, the major risk to do is, you just go straight under the ball. So even with these sat on top, we've got to give these a little bit of care. This is my 54 degree. I've been doing that. I would probably, especially got a little bit of green, I'd switch to my 50 degree. This is another little specialist shot I've just recently learned, which I really enjoy. Right, so for this one, we're going to play this with no wrist hinge. We're going to, because the ball's sat on top, we don't want to go under the ball. So grip down the club. We're actually going to raise the club, and we want to hit the ball from about the second or third groove. Don't want it riding up the face here. So from here, it's almost like a pendulum where there's no wrist hinges. We're not adding or taking off loft, and we're going to clip it off the second, third groove from the bottom, and it'll still come out pop and soft. So clip it off the top, grip down the club, and clip it off, no wrists. Lock it down, left hip release. Releases really nicely. Definitely not going under that ball. So again, when it's sat up, don't just think we're going to go aerial. Keep it simple. This still comes out with quite a bit of spin. Grip down the club, no wrists, left hip release, pendulum. Soft, a little bit of spin. You can control that. Whew. Much better than that. Right guys, hope you enjoyed that episode of Short Game Scratch Tips. Let me know in the comments below. If you've been away, give them a little practice. Have they worked for you? Anyway, hope you're enjoying this series. If you are, please give it a little subscribe. Would be a big help. Right guys, till next episode.